You are my son.
Welcome. We're finally here. My friends, Romans, countrymen, we are finally done with break month. Baby, let's fucking go!
Nice.
The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
That's what I'm talking about, baby. My goat is back. Oda himself. He's been gone for 3 weeks. He's been scheming, plotting. As a matter of fact, he's been plotting so much. I'm about to start plotting. I'm about to read this chapter, and I'm about to come up with some crazy fucking theories for the next 2 weeks. I'm going into overdrive, baby. You're telling me I've been going without any fuel, any juice for the last month? I'm supposed to stay hidden after that? No fucking way. I got the Admiral outfit. I got my Puff Admiral coat granted to me by Sakazuki himself. Fleet Admiral. If you didn't know, he's the Fleet Admiral of the entire Marines. Ever heard of him? Yeah, he gave it to me himself. This hat, this was given to me by the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp, when I was a little lad. A little wee lad in the Grand Line. And now I'm here to read the masterpiece that Oda has undoubtedly created just for me and you, but mostly for me. I'm putting the glasses back on. Putting the other ones back on. Why am I looking like a narc? Because I'm out here trying to catch and rat on anyone that's dropping spoilers. You dropping spoilers? Here, say it close to my shirt real quick. Say it into the mic right here. Oh, you've been reading spoilers this week? Let me know. Just say it again for me, real loud and clear.
Fucking
Spoilers.
All right. Chapter 11-12. Hard aspect. Oda's got me rock hard right now. Hard aspect. I got the hard aspect. Full force right now. Oni Child Yamato and the Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage, Volume 3. Consider this a parting gift of payment for a favor I must ask of you. In astrology, an aspect refers to the angles formed by planets in relation to each other on a birth chart or horoscope wheel. Oh, so we got horoscopes getting referenced now. That's interesting. This cover story, I'm still not interested. I don't care. What is this? Is a parting gift? Holy Inari Shrine Pilgrimage. So Yamato's making a pilgrimage across Wano. Don't care. The Mark III Pacifista have all been incapacitated. Don't let up. Keep firing. We can't let Emperor Straw Hat's crew escape. It'll be a disaster if Jewelry Bonnie gets away. She is no more than a little 12-year-old girl. And you gave her the power to eradicate entire nations. Your defiance is as foolish as it is insolent, Vegapunk. Interesting. Is that what you're really worried about? Let's hurry back to the ship. Yeah, some scary looking guys just arrived. Bang bang. Explosions. Stop them from setting sail. Target the ship from Elbaf and sink it. Get to the northeastern front on the double. So they're making their escape right now. I've managed to figure that much out. They're making their escape. These pacifista, I wonder if they're just down permanently. Are they dead? Did Baron one-shot them? Oh! Out of the way! I'm not letting you through. Steam? He's got steam powered. Strong right. Oh, he sent all of his chins to the Shadow Realm. All of them in one punch. This is Frankie. Is this Frankie one-shotting a Vice Admiral? That's a Vice Admiral, right? This dude just knocked every chin off of his neck in one punch. That's crazy. I'll puff to that. Hey, Giants, take care of my dad. You bet. Brace yourself, Jewelry Bonnie. You stupid, miserable brat. We're not going to let you keep a single one of our war machines. Uh-oh. She's right behind me, isn't she? He's not a weapon. Ah, he turned him into a kid. My daddy is a hero, you cleft-chin geezer. This is hard to watch. Stop it. Damn. Bonnie's kicking a kid. I mean, technically, he wasn't a kid like 5 seconds ago, but like... Is this the villain arc? Aren't you going to drink that Vega coffee of yours? Don't tease me, Shaka. It's too hot. This dude's still... He's blowing the fucking hot air off of his coffee, man. The world's about to end. You got to drop the most insane revelations known to mankind, and you're blowing hot air off the top. You're blowing steam off the top of your coffee cup. Okay. You know my tongue's as sensitive as a cat. That's the nekojita in Japanese. That's how they, they say you got a cat's tongue. If you can't have anything that's too hot, they say you got a nekojita. So Vegapunk has a neck. Well, it makes sense. He's a giant tongue. But you would think it's more resilient. It's constantly exposed to the elements. You know, he has his tongue out at all times. There's only 4 minutes left now, Stella. This is definitely the same room. There's no doubt this is where it was filmed, but... Filmed? Oh, like... Okay, yeah. I don't know, for a second I thought she was taking him to the mother frame. And I was like, frame, like, I don't know. For a second, but no, I realized now... She's talking about the video feed. Whoa. Giant laser beam. Wait a sec, don't do anything crazy. He's got laser beams coming out of his mouth, I guess. He can breathe that shit like he's like a kaiju. Stella, there's not enough time. See, you didn't stop diddly squat. But we can cool the coffee down if we use a thermoelectric device to alternate the... If I were Stella, I'd have made sure the broadcast snail was well hidden. Then I shall continue until the entire lab is vaporized. That'd be a mistake. The second floor of Building B is dedicated to weapons development, and the first floor houses the power station. Not only that, but the third floor of Building C stores a number of high-pressure gas cylinders. If you do any damage to any of those, the resulting explosion will blow Punk Records to smithereens. So they want to keep Punk Records. Then think of a solution. You satellites all share an identical thought process, correct? Of course, I know exactly how to stop this. Besides, we don't want to rack up any more sins. Our relationship is already troubled enough. Huh? funny, they all have an identical thought process, but this buffoon thought they wouldn't be able to guess the password on the computer. Another minus point for York. I sense the voice of a small life form above. You mean from Punk Records? Don't tell me he hid the snail there. It'll be one of the broadcast snails we recently finished developing. They're shaped like this, with a sort of triangular shell. Huh. This the Illuminati snail? Where's the entrance? Flies up. Okay. What a relief, it's gone. Guess it wasn't interested in us. The feeling is mutual. What in the blue blazes was that monster? Ooh, we get some Kaku development. This is good. Going off of what we overheard, I think it's one of the 5 elders. Go figure. What a repulsive transformation. So, why are you still here? Did your new pals leave you high and dry? I'd be downright heartbroken if it weren't for your own recent double cross. I decided to stay of my own volition. Someone needed to be here to carry out this final mission. Oh no. Is she gonna die? I wonder if this is like a martyr situation. Hang on, we're just gonna leave Stussy behind? There's no helping it. That darn barrier has to be lowered the instant the ship attempts its big escape. And mind you, the Frontier Dome can only be disarmed from the command tower. The lady wanted to do it herself. We can only respect that and show our gratitude by getting out of here alive. This is like a Bon Clay like type shit, like, but I don't understand how Stussy would survive this, you know, because Bon Clay stayed behind to let everyone escape Impel Down. Oda's really doing a little bit of everything here, isn't he? He's doing like a mix of so many different things from the Summit War. Like, you have the magnitude of the war itself. You have, you know, like warlords and people being captured and sent to Impel Down. You have the Sabaody like parallels happening all over the arc. You have Elbaf and the Giants, you know, kind of like in a way similar to Amazon Lily, like an isolationist warrior culture assisting Luffy. And now as they're making their escape, someone's going to have to stay behind to help them get out. And it's just like in Impel Down where they couldn't defeat Magellan. They had to just escape. They had to just get the hell out of there. So this is like another one of those. This is like a we can't win, we just got to run situation. So it's interesting that Egghead really feels like a combination of like everything in Summit War, the entire Summit War saga. I think that's pretty cool. And that makes me wonder if, you know, we're reaching the end of pre and post time skip mirror events. You know, I feel like the rest of the final saga could be totally original. Like, there's nothing from the early series that we're really going to be able to look at and pull from, maybe aside from like Skypiea to a degree. But for the most part, I feel like maybe Oda's trying to touch on everything we got around this time, pre-time skip on Egghead, and now we're going to get nothing but new stuff from here on out, like totally unpredictable, which I think would be cool. Okay. Of course, we won't waste this chance to escape, but the thing is, how are we meant to cover the distance that Vega Force 1 was originally going to fly us? That's the real head-scratcher here, Nico Robin. According to my calculations and all conventional wisdom, we're 100% guaranteed to crash and burn. Seriously? Guys, I finished loading the Kuda burst. We can take off toward the sea, and the second Zoro and the others get on board. If we don't make it, we'll have to improvise and rely on everyone's powers. Let's give it our all. Ahaha, wowee, this sure is a rowdy crew. Wonder if we can, oops. I'm not going to try and zoom in. They say miracles happen because guts triumph over all. And I love that theory. Even if I am a scientist. Edison, what are you doing? I'm going to make sure your ship reaches the ocean. Edison! No! This is my favorite character! Trust me, projected damage is 78%. I ain't dying. Not yet. No! A terrible vortex is emanating from the island. We got the sandworm sucking in all the air. Oh, so they all got unique abilities. They all got interesting... Like, each of the Gorosei is not just, like, a giant monster. They're a giant monster with some unique special power attached. So, I think for... I'm trying to figure out for Saturn. What would that be? That would be... I don't know if the regeneration is a factor. The poison. He's definitely got some poison. So, you have Mars with the laser coming out of his mouth. You have the ice power... For Venus Juro, and now you have air. This is like all the elements actually coming together. I'm trying to think of if their element connects to their respective planet in any way, but I'm going to think on that later. What power? It's sucking us in. We're not getting anywhere. Luffy's mouth getting stretched out. This is a good face here. This is a good panel. Damn it. If you're so hungry, try chewing on this building. The accordion, he accordions up. He like squishes. And he has the back of the building is poking out the back of his head. That's some Tom and Jerry shit right there, man. How do you guys say this? Agabo. Baseball pitches a building into his mouth. That's insane. Gababa. This is a real thrill. I'm beat. What the? Straw Hat? You look like an old man. I'm all out of food and power. Food? You want some of our hot Carl? Hot Carl? Blah, what's that smell? Fermented shark. It's an emergency ration from Elbaf. Gababa. It may stink, but it's tasty. Whoa, that hit the spot. Your body's so expressive. You're back to normal. I'd love seeing Luffy, like, not even Gear 5, just normal Luffy, jacked up like Garp. That's fire. This is some special food. The boar is charging. Gear 3rd. He's going back to Gear 3rd. Gum Red Hawk. A Red Rock. Oh, this is the second Red Rock we've gotten. Nice. Didn't seem like it did that much of an impact, but I guess it's hard to tell when Workery is taking up like half the panel here. Oh yeah, it was hard. Yeah, okay. Ow, how hard is this guy's skin? Okay, so he did just tank that. That wasn't like a... I was wondering if that was intentional. Like, it didn't look like it hit very hard. Damn, so this guy resisted Red Rock? Not even Kaido resisted Red Rock. Anyone that was talking shit about the Gorosei's, like, stamina, durability, all this stuff, look no further. Now we have a direct comparison with Kaido. Kaido got wrecked by Red Rock, and it did not even affect this guy. Labostratum back entrance. Hey, hang on. What in the world? Who goes there? Uh-oh. It looks like a crab? The Giants. Huh? Who the heck is that? Dang. Dang, this is a crazy panel. This is hard as fuck, man. Hold on, man. This is hard. This is so good. Are you kidding me? And people aren't hyped for this match. Like, there are people like that still want to do the argument that this guy isn't like nothing to Zoro. This is a serious opponent. That sword is long as fuck too. That's a really, really long katana. That's like an Odachi. Damn, this is cool. Punk Records, Labostratum. Got Jack. There's only one more minute, Stella. I know. This must be it. It seems fortune did not favor you this time, Vegapunk. Gurgle, gurgle. Gurgle, gurgle. What is that? What is that? Hold on. Hold on. What does that sound? I need you to like the stream, guys. What could this be? Vegapunk's brain? Is it like it's like in a vat? It's in a giant vat? What do you guys think? You think that's his brain in a giant container in the room? That would be a little anticlimactic, but I'm wondering. I mean, actually, no. That could have some cool implications. I mean, his brain is in Punk Records. It grew really large, right? This has to be like a massive room-sized vat that the brain is in. You think? Hit and stop vaping those candy farts and get some THC like a man. All right. Say less. You think it's on the floor? You think they just got the brain just sitting there on the floor like that? I don't think so. Yo, this is insane. We got a minute left, folks. The message is going to start next chapter, right? It definitely has to start next chapter. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do the thug shaker. According to one, there was a viewer in the chat that made a bet with me. They told me that if my prediction's wrong, that's what I would have to do. And it was technically wrong already. But, because I predicted it would be next chapter. He said that if I was wrong about my prediction, I'd have to thug shaker on stream. But you guys don't want to see that. You guys don't want to see that. So I'm still holding out. I'm changing the rules a little bit. You weaseled out. No. If it's not next chapter, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. I'm just gonna keep this going as long as possible. Is it possible Mars is somehow actually a good guy? I don't think so. No, this guy's a bad guy. He's here to destroy the whole lab. It's been at least 2 chapters. Sorry, Sim. I'm keeping you on edge. The day it happens, I just need this. I need this to come to a close. Don't worry though. I've kept you on the mind, bro. I've kept you on the mind. I do want to deliver. Bro is edging us. Maybe it's a bubble machine that traps anyone near the snail. Oh, like the bubble guns that they had earlier? I mean, yeah, but would it make that noise though? You would hear like a pop or something, no? Or, I don't know, maybe not, because it's got to build up the bubble. Said take off the glasses. Do I have one for this? No. What if the turtle is a Roger Seraphim being held in a liquid chamber waiting to be released for the sole purpose? The Roger Seraphim. Well, I don't know if there's a Roger Seraphim or the Gurgle. Yeah, the Gurgle. Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't think there's a Roger Seraphim, right? That wouldn't. It's only the Warlords. YouTubers never keep their promises. I don't know what I was expecting. Oh, well, I'm gonna ask O'Hara next. Fine, I'll do the thug shaker. All right, this is for you, Oda. All right, there you go. I got you. All right, I got you on the fucking thug shaker. Fine. Can we put this to rest? I'm just kind of ready for the message in Elbaf, to be honest. Me too. Me too. I need to... I need to get the message already. I just want to be done with this... I need to be done with this, you know, final stretch of the arc. I want to move on. I want to move on. No, it's because you invoked... You sparked my competitive nature, Civ. You sparked my competitive nature. You told me, oh, I'm going to take it to another channel. I'm like, nah, I can't let that happen. That was top tier manipulation.
Nice.
That thug do be shaking. I could have made it shake harder. That was like a 10%. That was 10% power level. I did that. That was a quick one. That was a speed run. If we get no announcement, I'll put more effort into it. I'll run it back. If we get zero announcement, if Mars actually cuts it off and we get no announcement this arc, I will accept that I was totally wrong. I'll take the L, and then at that point, I'll put in like I'll give it like a 50%, maybe 60% shake. I'm not at max yet. This is not my max power. Nothing beating the post-Shanks one-shot twerk. Oh, man. The Shanks chapter, that was insane. That was something else. I don't think I'm ever getting to that point again. Unless when we meet Shanks, we have like a full-out like battle between him and Luffy. I don't know if it's for fun or for whatever. That might get the shake. No, Edward says, nope, gotta get naked. Oiled up. All right. What is the Ancient Kingdom according to you? The Ancient Kingdom, I've had a bunch of guesses at the Ancient Kingdom. So these are my guesses right now. I have a few options for what I think the Ancient Kingdom could be, or at least look like. Let's say the Ancient Kingdom isn't the One Piece itself. Like it's not like a physical entire kingdom with all the old world's technology, like a massive treasure island basically that has all the tools and advancements that could help the world. It's like a giant island kingdom that's just abandoned, and for anyone to claim all this ancient technology. That's like kind of going back to my original like greatest theory, what the One Piece is. I'm gonna take the glasses off now. It's too dark. Now I'm gonna take them off. I need to think right now. The One Piece could be the Ancient Kingdom itself. I'm still kind of holding out some hope for that, but if it's not, that's fine. Doesn't have to be. What it's going to look like, I think it could be a combination of a couple things. I'm still a big supporter of the Rome peace idea. I think there's a good chance that the ancient, because we haven't really had that like sort of aesthetic covered very much in One Piece so far. We haven't had like that ancient Roman type environment, and I could see them doing that because, you know, I've also talked about this in that same video, but like there's the whole concept of the fall of Rome, right? Like one of the greatest empires that's ever existed on Earth, one of the largest, one of the most technologically advanced for its era, and it fell, it collapsed, it's gone completely. There's no trace of it left really, aside from all the cultural traces that remained afterward. So the Ancient Kingdom could look a lot like that. I also think if you guys remember, this might be a deep cut. This might be too old for some of the people watching. But if you guys remember fucking Toontown Online, you know the Disney game where you play as a cartoon in town and you throw pie gags, use sound gags and drop gags on the cogs. You remember that shit? That's like from 20 years ago. Toontown Online? It was a town of toons. There was cartoon buildings. They would bend. They were bend and they had smiley faces on them, and they had streets named after puns. It's basically like it's like Steamboat Willie had an entire city. Okay? Now, I know this sounds completely crazy, But there's a good chance, you know, Oda has a lot of Disney inspiration. If they get to Laugh Tale, what if when they get to Laugh Tale, it looks like fucking Toontown? I've been thinking about that too. I'm like, because of Joy Boy, right? Like Joy Boy and all his powers and all that stuff, right? Like Joy Boy is you know, he's like a rubber hose animation cartoon type thing. So what if like the Ancient Kingdom was run by Joy Boy, or he was like the patron god of their kingdom, and he helped them out. Maybe he was around during their time and he helped them out and he helped build it. And that's it. Maybe it looks like a big wacky Toontown cartoon city, you know, because we see Egghead and we see like, we can't really see it much anymore from this chapter because most of it's destroyed. But they got like a futuristic kind of like Jetsons vibe going on. But it's definitely one of the more animated, like cartoon looking locations in the story. You know, with all these like space age cartoon style buildings, like Jetsons style architecture, retro future. So I could see, you know, something similar. You know, it's not going to be, because remember, Punk Records looks this way, not because the Ancient Kingdom looked this way. It looks this way because it's a lab, first and foremost. Punk Records is Vegapunk's lab. Yes, everything in, or not Punk Records, fucking Egghead Island. I don't know why I'm saying that. Egghead Island is a lab. It's Vega, the entire island is basically Vegapunk's lab city combo. The Ancient Kingdom wasn't like, you know, a lab. So yeah, they had all this advanced technology, but I don't think it's gonna look exactly like Egghead because their kingdom wasn't like explicitly for the purpose of research, you know, scientific research. So I think, you know, there's a chance it looks more like an ordinary city architecture wise. It's not all this like, you know, there's not all this tech. There's not like holograms and Godzillas and UFO, you know, looking shit everywhere, rockets. I think that's all part of the lab aesthetic that Vegapunk has going on. So the actual Ancient Kingdom, I'm pretty convinced that it's going to look like a city of some kind, and it might be like a Toon city. It might be like a Roman city. That's where I'm at right now. So, you know, I'm kind of throwing darts on many different points on the scoreboard, but I'm hoping one of them hits. I can't think of many other, you know, interesting new types of aesthetics or locations that we could make Laugh Tale. Maybe Oda surprises us though, you know. Maybe Maya or Aztec. So I would buy that if it weren't for the fact that Skypiea already has that covered. You know? I mean, I'd be down with it. I just feel like it would be a little bit redundant. You know, we've already been to Skypiea. We have the, you know, Shandora. And Shandora, like, if, you know, if we had Laugh Tale, it looked just like Shandora, then you would look at Shandora and be like, it's just kind of like a diet Laugh Tale. It's just like a worse, less important Laugh Tale. And I feel like that would take away from the significance of that location. Because everything in Oda's story, he's combining all these different elements, influences, stories, mythologies, you know, all these different things in one. So I don't feel like he needs to recycle themes and locations that he's already done in depth elsewhere, you know? Is the brain fruit tree now that the fruit free now that the main Vegapunk is free? I could see that. I could see that. Well, technically no, right? If his entire giant brain is still in this container, let's say that that's the case. That right in front of our boy here, he's looking at a giant vat with mother brain in it, you know, Vegapunk's head, Vegapunk's brain. If this is still alive, I mean, his brain is the thing that's affected by the brain fruit, right? So my guess would have to be that the fruit's still around if his brain's still around, right? If it's functional, if his brain's operating. So, yeah. See people mentioning, what if Brain Point shows no weaknesses? You know what'd be crazy? Now I'm thinking about it, Nick. What if What if Vegapunk used Chopper Brain Point? Imagine that. Like, how busted would that be? Like, if he took a Rumble Ball and ate Brain Point, like, he ate the Rumble Ball and he went Brain Point with his already massive brain. He would basically, like, he'd be able to solve everything, like, instantly. Yeah, it's like create, like, a black hole. Yeah. That would create a rip in space-time. Yeah, I agree, Ollie. If the satellites are alive, you know, if Vegapunk's brain is still active, then the fruit is not up for grabs. What I'd be interested to hear, though, you know, is if the brain fruit does become active again, like if Vegapunk is dead and it becomes, you know, the fruit spawns somewhere, who's going to be the next user of the brain fruit? That I got to know. You know, it'd be pretty, it'd be pretty funny if Frankie ate it. I don't think that would ever happen. Green blood. We're still waiting for the green blood, but I don't think Frankie would eat it. But I'm just saying, you know, he does have all these unique hairstyles. He could do something with that in combination with a massive head. You know, make a massive pompadour to go around his giant head with all the information. And, you know, he'd have to do the same thing Vegapunk did because his brain will get too large. So where would Frankie put his brain? Would he make his own punk records? Or perhaps Frankie puts his brain in a giant ship. There's just a giant ship roaming around with Frankie's brain in it. I think that could be that could be pretty cool. Just a little food for thought. Ooh, that's interesting, Shartley. Nice name, by the way. It's kind of the same logic as Zeus still existing after Big Mom's death. Yeah, that's something that's actually a good point, and I still don't know how to reconcile this. Like, I feel like Big Mom's not dead. I'm putting my chips. If I have to bet money, I'm putting my chips on Big Mom being alive still. That being said, you know, Oda has not shown us anything. It's probably going to be in the cover story, right? Like Yamato's wandering Wano. Big Mom and Kaido are still somewhere beneath Wano. Maybe Yamato encounters the hole that they got knocked into. But like, if Big Mom's dead, then you would think Zeus is not alive anymore. Zeus is not, you know, he's not around. And the reason I think, the justification I have for why Zeus shouldn't be around, even if you want to say, well, the homie is separate now. Big Mom took a part of her soul, put it in something else. It's separate from Big Mom, so it could still exist even if she dies. I don't think Zeus would be around, and the reason is, see, Klaus said something in the chat that actually is about to be what I'm gonna say here, and it's interesting you bring this up, Klaus, because he said, "Nah, man, Prometheus survived Mother Carmel's death as well." So unless I'm misremembering, someone correct me if I'm wrong, that wasn't Prometheus. So when Mother Carmel created a little son out of the fire in Elbaf, that was Pandora. Mother Carmel named it Pandora. So that was actually a different homie. Big Mom made Prometheus, but I'm assuming Prometheus and Pandora are two separate things. So what that means is after Big Mom ate Mother Carmel, we don't know where Pandora is. Where's Pandora? Pandora's gone. So the assumption, in my opinion, there is like, okay, Pandora disappeared when Carmel did. So if Big Mom's dead, I would assume Zeus would disappear too. Zeus would have to go. So Big Mom's still alive. Big Mom is in my opinion, still alive. And I'm still banking on the theory that Big Mom's going to come back and she's going to be like a shriveled up raisin. She's going to look like Bakin. And she's going to be a non-threat because the lava made her iron balloon body shrink into like a small, frail old lady. Dealer Joy Boy, thank you for the $9.99. Appreciate it, bro. He said, yo, it feels so good to be back. Parvision has a theory that Vegapunk will become the recycle dog, like Goddard from Jimmy Neutron. It's a really fun theory. Is that up on the channel? I gotta watch that. That's that sounds funny. I like to see that. I'm gonna watch that on my own because we've done a lot of Parvision on theory review. So I do want to save like new theorists and new channels for the next theory review. Give more people a shot. But I'm definitely gonna give that a watch on my own time. That sounds interesting. Kaido and Big Mom are tiny buggy. Basically, yeah. So I just feel like Luffy has a tendency to like embarrass his opponents at the end of his fights rather than like kill them. So the assumption when they get knocked into lava, you have to either guess one of two things: they're dead, or that wasn't enough to kill them. There's only two options. Now, what would Luffy do? Would he kill his opponent, or would he, put them out of commission in some kind of like irreparable fashion? Most of the enemies that Luffy fights go to jail. Kaido and Big Mom are not in jail, but they're underground and in lava. So could they survive that? I wouldn't put it past them. I think that's a pretty impressive feat. And Luffy, what's his personality type? He's not the type to kill. Although there's been plenty times in One Piece where he's attacked an enemy and, especially like grunt marines, and they've like fallen off of a high surface that should kill them. Like realistically, they shouldn't survive that. So Luffy probably does have a body count, but realistically, like he's not, at least from on page, how the story's written, Luffy doesn't kill his enemies. So it would be funnier to me if the way they were defeated renders them not serious opponents anymore. Big Mom and Kaido are like these like shriveled old people now. They just became these like little raisins, like Tiny Buggy, like Bakin, bad timeline shit. Like, if Oda was to draw 40 years, 60 years, this is the bad future for Kaido and Big Mom, they would look like that. I think they earned themselves a bad future here. So my guess is they're still alive. Yeah, exactly, Sacred. Kaido's final attack was a literal lava dragon. He should survive in the lava. He's able to surround himself in lava in combat. Like that should be a non-issue for him. Pell is confirmed alive. Yeah, he is. If Pell is alive, Kaido is alive. Yeah. If Pell survived, then Kaido's gotta survive, right? Although, I gotta say, we gotta have a talk one of these days about character deaths in One Piece. They need to happen more often, in my opinion. But that's a whole long discussion that I need to pull up Microsoft Excel and show you I made a little chart that I've been working on, categorizing the deaths in One Piece. Significant deaths, minor deaths, flashback deaths, present time deaths, how many they happen in total, how many bait deaths happen, like how many times characters are made, like they're written for us to think they died and then they didn't die. I've tracked those as well, and there's a surprising number of fake out deaths in the story, and that I think is a pain in the ass, in my personal opinion. I wish Oda would do less of those, but anyway, we'll do that conversation. Maybe that'll be a future discussion stream. We do have one tomorrow. We have a discussion stream tomorrow. We're going to be talking about the arcs. We're going to start big and work our way down to more narrow topics. So we're starting with the arcs in One Piece tomorrow on tomorrow's discussion stream. You got to remember that Luffy's whole superpower is bringing people to his side. If you don't see Doffy and Kaido and Big Mom helping, even separately from him, to dethrone Imu, you're nuts. Look, I mean, I don't think they're gonna fight alongside Luffy. But if they did, by the end of the story, and it was at least reasoned in a I just don't see them coming back at full power, so they wouldn't even be able to be very helpful in a fight. They wouldn't be. I can't see them coming back with their full strength or even like most of their strength, because then that would be a massive threat to everyone. Because they're still Yonko tier pirates, right? Like if they were alive and able to help Luffy in the final war, why wouldn't they try and take back their territory? Like why wouldn't they come back and like, yeah, they're pirates, and they probably don't want to work with the world government. So when the final war happens, like if they had to choose between siding with the pirate side or the world government side, they would side with the pirates. But they're evil characters. they're too much of a threat to be allowed to wander around at full strength, you know, without being a threat to the current dynamic of the world. So that's the way I see it. I don't think they're going to be, I don't think they're fighters anymore. If they're still alive, they're not fighters. I would say they are evil. They're pretty evil. Kaido's evil as fuck. Big Mom's evil as fuck. Big Mom keeps people trapped in books for eternity. She keeps them jailed in books so she can just look at them for like fun, just for observation. She holds people hostage and forces marriages and then kills off her prior husbands and takes portions of people's souls on a yearly basis to allow them to live in her land. She straight up ate her adoptive mother. I know that was an accident, but like, come on. Big Mom's fucking evil. Kaido, he's fucking evil. The man enslaved an entire country and starved them and poisoned their river and poisoned their breathing, their air, their oxygen. Like, Kaido executed their beloved shogun. He lied. He didn't even keep the promise of like letting Odin go if he survived the full hour. Kaido's fucking evil. His worldview was that he wanted everyone it was survival of the fittest. So basically he's on top because he believes he's the strongest. So his entire worldview just pits him at the top instantly because he thinks he's the strongest thing in the world. So he basically wants to create a world where might makes right. Therefore, he's the best and he can kill anyone and no one can say anything to him because his way of living, his law is, if you're not strong enough to defeat me, then you can't say shit. Completely uncontested dictator. That's what he wanted to go for. So he's a piece of shit. They're evil. They're evil. Big Mom Kaido diss next Reverie. I could do that. I don't know though. I feel like if I keep doing the disses every time, it's gonna wear thin, don't you think? Would you guys get tired of seeing me do a diss every Reverie? Like, just pick a character and then do a diss on them, like a whole roast? Because people like the Zoro and Sanji roast that I did. With the exception of, like, Zoro and Sanji fans. They didn't like that shit. But I feel like it would be too much if I did it every time. If you're emotionally feeling it, spit the flames. I have to get riled up, you know? I need a character that actually gets me, you know, that to some degree offends me. That way I can roast them. Like, Braga already went off on the Yonko. He did. Yamato roast. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. That if I do any roast on Yamato, I'm gonna get flamed into next week. Even the dumb ideas get me going. Yeah, I know. I love talking about. I like the dumb ideas in One Piece. I just need it to have some kind of logic to it, you know. There's sometimes I'll hear a theory, and I don't know. It doesn't even make logical sense, and then it just kind of like feels like a waste of time. But there's sometimes like even the dumb or like crazy theories, like that have some evidence to back them up. I think it's fun. That's the fun part. People don't get that sometimes. People are like, they need every theory to be airtight. Doesn't always need to be. Let's talk about this chapter a little bit though. So we had every Gorosei show up in this chapter, right? We had every single one. We had Mars. We had Mars do his laser beam. We had Jupiter eat a house We had Mercury doing something, just kind of deflecting. Venus looking cool, and Saturn pulling up here. We got to see Saturn's legs. That's it. But every Gorosei did something in this chapter. Every Gorosei did something. So at this point, I'm pretty comfortable saying that these are top tier fighters. You know, every action they take is destructive on an island level. We have Jupiter sucking in the air, which is like straight up pulling trees out of the ground, ripping concrete off of buildings. Like, if they do anything, islands get destroyed pretty much. As a matter of fact, the least impressive out of all of them at this point is Saturn to me. Saturn's the least impressive. This laser beam that shot through the building was insane. And this is actually a point in the direction of Sanji fighting Mars, because we've seen Sanji deflect Kizaru's laser beam. Who knows? Maybe he's going to deflect this laser beam from Mars too. You know, if we're talking about like Sanji being super fast, moving at light speed potentially, like all these things, this could be another matchup. You know, this is a flying opponent. Sanji has Skywalk, shoots lasers. So that seems to just point more in that direction for me. But once again, that's a super, super destructive ability. Mercury is just insanely massive, insanely tanky. He did those slashes with the giants. I mean, it takes two of the strongest giants in the world to deflect that attack. So, yeah, these are all very, very dangerous opponents. I think it's set in stone now. I'm comfortable saying that. We're not fighting them here. We still got a long way to go, I think. We got another 100 or so chapters, or 200 chapters, before we fully take on the Gorosei and defeat them. And Imu. And this only makes me wonder, right, what Imu is. Because if these guys are doing all this crazy, insane shit, and these are just the peons, these are just Imu's, you know, coffee boys, what the hell can Imu do? What on earth is Imu capable of? Because when Sabo saw Imu transform, Imu was taking up the entire empty throne room. The entire room. Crawling down the steps like a giant monster, like, you know. It's got to be some insane power-up, insane transformation. And I'm still, you know, I feel like the Ymir thing we were talking about in the last Elbaf theory, Ymir, you know, the father of all giants in Norse mythology. This ancient being that's, you know, sometimes described as like evil, malicious. So Ymir, you know, was humanoid. Imu's transformation, when Imu was climbing down the steps, it looked like a person. It looked like a giant, shadowy person thing. It had like a round head and arms and a torso. So it could be like it could be a literal Ymir transformation for all we know. Now, what I was a little bit surprised, right? So the title of this stream was "A New Challenger Approaches." You know, sometimes I'm gonna have to take guesses when I'm subtitling the chapters for my streams. I got to take a guess on what's gonna happen in the chapter. And I was so certain the Iron Giant was gonna do something this week. I'm pretty shocked he didn't. We got nothing, not a single thing from the Giant. Makes me wonder if the gurgle sounds could be related to the Giant, possibly. Because this is how the last chapter ended, right? Forgive me, Joy Boy. It's like a Titan in the middle of an inferno. It seems to be growling something. Northwest shore. So this guy's already up. He's standing up. He's visible within all the... Like, none of the Gorosei mention it this chapter. No one mentions it. None of the Vice Admirals mention it. They mentioned... They gave a direction they were heading. What was it? Was it the northeast shore? So they're heading in the opposite direction from the Giant. But they should still... You should still be able to see it, right? It's a huge... I'm looking for it. I'm fine. I don't know where it is. Either way. Regardless. They didn't mention or bring up the Iron Giant this chapter. So I'm pretty surprised. That's my biggest surprise. I was ready for that. To be honest, a lot of my hype this chapter was related to the Giant. I was so ready to get some dialogue out of this thing, something about Joy Boy, some comment from the Gorosei about the Giant, but nothing. We got nothing. So maybe that's next chapter. In that respect, this chapter a little under-delivered for me a little bit, but that's fine. You know, it's still it was an enjoyable read. But this is not like a 9 or 10 out of 10. This is actually one of the less crazy chapters in Egghead for me. And maybe that's because I had the high expectations set up, but at the same time, you know, Oda did set those expectations with how the last chapter ended. So I can't entirely just blame that on myself here. It's like partially the way it was written is like, okay, next chapter, it's like the cliffhanger. Joy Boy, I'm sorry. Okay, next chapter, you know, hopefully it's something about that, but we gotta wait a little longer. No break next week though. So we'll probably find out next chapter or next week, hopefully. Front cover and color spread next issue. We're going to get a new volume cover. That's beautiful. And a color spread. Can we get a You Are My Son? Yes, of course. Alejandro Tapia Pintado, thank you so much for the members message. You are my son and like D-Stream. Everyone, I agree with Alejandro. Like D-Stream. You are all my sons.
You are my son.
Is Golden Week next week? So I saw Ali said something about like we have a week off, but it doesn't say break. So I don't know if that's a weekly Shonen Jump break. Even if it is a weekly, if it is a Shonen Jump break, I'm pretty sure the chapter is still going to be made and leaked and scanned online during the break, and then we're going to have to go the week after without a chapter. If I remember, that's usually how it goes. So either way, I'm pretty sure we're getting a chapter next week. I'll be pretty sad if it wasn't the case. If we get another break, if we're got to wait another week, but whatever. Okay, so next week is on, then week break, 1 week on, and then 1 week off for Oda. So we got another chapter next week, a break after that, and then after that we got another chapter, and then another break after that. Is that what it is? Hugo said, I thought Golden Week just passed. Let me find out. No, Golden Week is April 29th to May 5th. So that would be yeah. So we are getting a chapter next week. The week after Golden Week starts. So what the fuck is Golden Week? Golden Week is a national holiday in Japan. Everyone gets off for that holiday. I can't remember what exactly the holiday's for. I'm pretty sure it was created specifically to give people like a guaranteed week off during the year that they could go on vacation and do stuff and celebrate. Basically take a break from working. But let me fact check that. Oh, so actually what it is, it's like it's a series of holidays in a row. So it's basically like a series of holidays that happen to be in the same week, and because of that you get a day off for each, so they just make it's like an entire week off. And everyone, typically during Golden Week, a lot of places are closed, everyone's off from work, everyone's home, and most people in Japan go on vacation, they go travel during Golden Week. So, for example, in Hawaii, Hawaii is a very popular destination for Japanese tourism, because it's in the Pacific, it's relatively close, it's not a long flight, where it's in America, so they're, you know, allied country. Like, it's very easy, very popular for Japanese people to go to Hawaii. So Golden Week, you'll notice that a lot of people, especially because it's like springtime, the weather's getting nice, a lot of Japanese people go to Hawaii during Golden Week. That's like a big thing. And like other places too, of course. It's not just Hawaii, but that's like a big example. So yeah, oh, you know, everyone gets off. Everyone gets off. Prince D Professor asked, what is my favorite part of the chapter? My favorite part of the chapter has got to be this last page, I think, just because of this back-to-back. This panel is awesome, and this is raising questions with the gurgle thing, and the fact that Mars is in the room where the broadcast is being sent from, that's a surprise. You know, he could easily just destroy it right here, right? Like, he could just break it, but I'm going to guess right now Vegapunk predicted this. Vegapunk planned for this. So this is not going to stop the broadcast. Even if Saturn, or not, even if Mars destroys the Denden Mushi here, I don't think that's going to be enough to stop the broadcast. There's got to be a backup plan, right? This guy's so smart. We're talking about his brain taking up this entire dome here. He's got to have accounted for this, right? Like, this is such an important message that it's like all tied on this one little snail that someone could like smash. I don't think so. Yeah, Moog, I agree. Is there a chance it could be a fake? I think it could be a fake. I think this Denden Mushi is like a like bait, you know? It's a red herring, whatever you want to call it. Who's going to help Bonnie and Frankie? What do you think? That's a good question. Bonnie, Frankie, and Atlas are not enough to take on Venus here, especially if he's one-shotting Giants and Pacifista. So, you know, I could see Zoro swooping in to save the day. He is lost, you know, he's on the island somewhere and he doesn't know his way around. I could see him somehow finding his way here. Maybe he uses the haki because he was able to sense the haki, the presence of the Gorosei. So maybe he bases it on his sense, his haki sense. He can find Venus here, and he has a short little clash with Venus to help them get away. And obviously I think he's going to be outmatched even if he does clash with him. Zoro's tired from the fight with Lucci. So if that's the case, he's going to just like hold him off a little bit, help them get away, and then he's going to have to get away too. And I would love, this is what I really, really hope for. I would love if Zoro does temporarily clash with Venus Juro. If we get a line from Venus, like a swordsman line, like one of those like power gauges where Kaido, he looked at Luffy and he saw the different people behind him, and it was like, oh, this, like, how high do you think you can reach? Whatever the line was. You think you can go as high as them? I could see a line from Venus Juro regarding Ryuma, let's say, because I'm going to assume that he was around in Ryuma's time. He was around for all that. So Venus probably knows Ryuma. He might have some connections to Wano going by his name, Venus Juro. So if he looks at Zoro, if he like has a clash with Zoro and he's like, oh shit, Zoro, this guy's kind of reminds me of someone. Kind of reminds me of Ryuma, the one-eyed samurai from Wano Kuni. Oh shit, Zoro. Wait, you might be the strongest swordsman after Mihawk. Oh damn, this guy's a threat. Nothing happened? Something happened. This guy's busted strong. Like I need him to say some shit. I need him to go look at Zoro and be like, ah, so you're a true swordsman. This is a problem. We should have taken more notice of you. Or, oh, he's just like him. And then you see a little flash of Ryuma. I need that. I think that would be so sick if that happened. So I want them to meet even even for a little bit, like for a moment, just so we can have an exchange. And that way, That way Zoro can get hyped up, you know? We need someone to kind of give us the impression or give us the notice that, like, hey, Zoro's at a really top level now. Like, he's almost ready for Mihawk. He's almost ready for the title. And I think it'd be cool if we had, you know, Ethan here deliver that to us, that message. I don't know what's going on with Jupiter. He's funny, man. This is funny. I can't get over the Dune thing, the teeth, the fact that he has perfect pearly whites is so funny to me. I love it. He's got like Kirby inhale, and he got Tom and Jerry'd in this chapter. Who is he gonna fight? I don't know. Who is the opponent for this guy? Man, could it be Jinbei? I don't even think so. You know, like who's a matchup for this worm here? What would make sense? The monster trio, I think it's gonna be Mars, Venus, and Emu. That's gonna be fighting. You know, they're gonna be fighting them. Warcury, I could see Jinbei doing it. Maybe Momo comes back last minute for the Warcury fight and chops him in half just like Odin did to the boar. Dragon, I like that because of the wind, right? Dragon's got like wind or storm powers or something. You could like kind of have a little exchange with him here because of that. Johan, I like that idea too. Brook faces him. He gets eaten kind of like Monstro, like the whale, and fights him from the inside with the cold or something. I can see that. The water, yeah, water could work too, Ollie. You think Sanji's gonna fight Warcury, Moog? Jinbei's gonna fight Mars? I mean, I just don't know how Jinbei would fight Mars. He's so slow and lumbering, and he doesn't have Skywalk. He doesn't have any means to chase Mars into the sky. So I don't think that would, like, that matchup just wouldn't be. That would be horrible for Jinbei. I feel like he wouldn't be able to do anything. It makes more sense to me that Jinbei takes on Warcury. And that makes sense too, right? Because Jinbei is the third strongest on the crew after Zoro. So that would work, right? Because you have 2, 3, and 4. If Mars is 4, that's perfect for Sanji. So that would be great. Great chapter. Great chapter. This is fire. What do you guys have any crazy theories you want to share with me? Let me know. What are you guys thinking after reading this? I'm curious to hear your thoughts. I don't have too much. Like I said, I was banking on the Iron Giant. I was ready to go off. Whatever the Iron Giant was gonna say, like, I thought that was happening this chapter. I was ready to go off, and I was gonna like theorize about like what could this mean, what could this imply, you know, so on and so forth. We didn't get that, so it's kind of just action. This is just like an action chapter. We got the Gorosei doing X, Y, and Z. Character attacks this character attacks this character. Here's a cool laser thing, and here's, you know, like it's setup, it's action. It's not really anything that I can go and really work with or build off of in any crazy degree. So for me, I'm waiting for the Giant to start talking. When he starts talking, I'm gonna have thoughts, I think. Because I can't imagine the Giant is going to say anything that isn't incredibly mysterious or interesting or holds deep implications for the Void Century. Like, it's going to be crazy. And then we have the Giant talking, and then Vegapunk's going to talk. So between those two, like, we're about to get some insane lore dump. And I'm waiting for that to drop before I start doing any crazy theorizing. So I don't have much this chapter, to be totally honest. But let me hear what you guys have to say. That's actually a good one, Kavatica. What do people think York meant by racking up sins? Is she talking about trying to ally with the Gorosei, or is she a double agent and is actually still allied with Vegapunk? I don't think she's still allied with Vegapunk, because that would mean... That would kind of like go against where is the line? That would go against York's characterization. Why did York do any of this? Why did York betray, why did York sick the Gorosei on the island in the first place? Why did York help them make the Mother Flame and nuke an island? If York was good, York wouldn't have done any of that shit. All of this is purely malicious. I don't think this is like a change of heart. I think York is talking about something else. York is not on Vegapunk's side here. This is a traitor for sure. There would be no point. There would be no point in any of the things that have happened up until now that York caused to happen, if not for York actually being evil. But what were you saying? Racking up sins. Besides, we don't want to rack up any more sins. So there's two things I'm wondering about this. Of course, I know exactly how to stop this. Besides, we don't want to rack up any more sins. We. Who's we? York is talking about herself and Mars? Or herself and the rest of the Gorosei and the world government? Like, what do you mean we don't want to rack up any more sins? So I could see York this. First off, let me just say, this is something that could change when we get the translation, the official one on Sunday. This could just be a situation where the wording they chose to use, TCB, for this chapter is just confusing. It wouldn't be the first time. Not to rip on, their translation. I mean, overall, it all makes sense. This is just one of those peculiar lines. So that might be changed by Sunday. But if York is talking about York and the Celestial Dragons, it could be like the sins, meaning we don't want to rack up any more sins, as in we don't want to make any more mistakes. We don't want to let anything else happen on this island that's a problem. And we, as in me and my new allies, the world government, we don't want any more trouble than what we already have. In other words, we don't want Vegapunk's message to go off. We don't want the broadcast to be heard by the entire world, on top of all the other shit going on Egghead right now. So this is like, the sins refers to probably what Emu would constitute as a sin against his rule, or something like that. So it's like, we don't want to rack up any more sins. We don't want to fuck up any more than we already have, because we're going to be in big trouble if we don't fix this now. So we have to stop this. Let's stop racking up sins today. Our relationship is already troubled enough, right? It could be in reference to York and the rest of the Gorosei. This also could be in reference to York plus the Gorosei in reference to Emu. Like, the Gorosei's relationship with Emu is already troubled enough, because what's this question mark, exclamation point, like this, huh? Or like this, this moment of like shock or surprise from Mars, right? What could that mean exactly? Like, why is he surprised by this comment? Is it that York knows that the Gorosei are on they're on a razor's edge with Emu right now? They're on thin ice because there's so much that's been going down recently that's been messing up. There's so many mistakes that have been made. The Gorosei have not done the best job that they could have to stop this from happening. This is a potentially huge, serious situation, and the Gorosei couldn't stop it. So I wouldn't be surprised if my lamp is acting up here. Sorry if the light's flickering. I wouldn't be surprised if this is like York saying, "Hey, you're already on a thin rope here with Emu, Like, I get it. I'm with you. I'm on the same side as you. We don't want to mess up more, because it's not going to look good when we go back home and have to talk to the boss." So it's an interesting line. It's an interesting line with, a degree of a degree of foreboding that, maybe the Gorosei are kind of being held hostage to a degree. Like, they're evil too, right? They're definitely bad guys, but they're bad guys that have to answer to an even worse guy. They're bad guys that have an even badder guy as their boss. And even though these are like the worst people in the world, they don't want to like lose the graces of the worst person in the world. If that makes sense. I may be being repetitive here, but I'm just trying to illustrate the point that that's what this could mean. And if that's what it's implying, then I'd be interested to see what, obviously they're going to inevitably fail to some degree, Luffy's going to escape the island with Bonnie. The Vegapunk message, I feel like it has to go off. So if it does, what happens next? They're going to have to go back to Marijois. They're going to have to talk to the boss. They're going to be like, hey, we failed to stop it. We messed up. What happens next? Right? What does Emu do when they say that? When they come back home and they're like, hey, we failed to stop it. Sorry. My bad. Eesh, Emu. Okay, listen. You promise you won't be mad? Emu, before I tell you what happened, okay, how do I put this? First off, you promise you won't be mad, right? Okay, we kinda let Joy Boy escape, and the Iron Giant woke up, and all the pacifists are controlled by Bonnie, and Vegapunk's message got broadcast to the world, and everyone knows about what happened in the Void Century, and we revealed our forms to everyone, and now everyone knows we're monsters, and Kuma punched Saturn in the face, and Jupiter got a building tossed into his mouth, and yeah. And then they get fucking massacred. Then Emu just fucking flattens them. Just like steamroll, destroys them instantly. Instantly just shatters, smashes the Gorosei into a fine powder like Thanos. He was like, the Gorosei never existed. The Gorosei, who are those guys? They didn't work for me. Moog, thank you for the £5, bro. He said, it's interesting to me that Jupiter straight up ate people this chapter, just like Gear 5 Luffy is eventually going to do to Akainu. I need to know where you get these ideas from, man. Who's telling them? You got Oda? You got Oda on lock? You got him on the cell phone? Did you hit him up with that one? Where are you getting these insane theories, Moog? I'm still waiting for Emu to show up on Egghead. The silhouette. Hidden Johan is cooking low key. Let me see. It's betrayal. In the Bible, God gives a sheep to prevent the two brothers from killing each other. The giant robot is inspired by Pluto from Astro Boy. It is linked to the ancient weapon and Goldorak for the planet Vega. Vegapunk. Emu is York, surely. Emu's not York. No. But I do like that the giant robot is inspired by Pluto. I could see that. There's already Astro Boy references in this arc because you have Atlas, right? You have Atlas. You know, Vegapunk being a genius scientist and all that. Osamu Tezuka is like the father of like manga, anime. So it's like God, Oda has referenced him already multiple times in the story. It wouldn't be a surprise. Tell me Emu wouldn't have been better than York. I don't want Emu to show up this early. I need Emu to cook a little bit. I need to let the spices simmer before we get a full Emu face reveal and an Emu pulls up to do, you know, get it done himself or whatever. Ninja Emu, best theory. I thought it was funny. I was enjoying the back and forth we used to have when we were still like debating who the silhouette was. I thought that was funny as fuck. I was like, there's no way Emu's gonna show up like this early in the arc, bro. But it's, you know, that's the fun. That's the fun of it. Zeus solos Saturn. What makes you say that, Cheesy Skull? Electricity? I don't know what the... You think just Saturn's a fraud? Is that what you're telling me? Is Saturn just a... He's just a fraud? I think Saturn's the weakest Gorosei, just from the impressions I've been getting. ever since the beginning of this arc. Like, ever since we've had Saturn, and that's not even the beginning of the arc, but ever since we had Saturn show up on the island and start tearing up, like, everything, he's been getting embarrassed left and right. He's been getting knocked around. So he kind of feels like the weakest Gorosei from what I've seen so far, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone else. They're definitely not all equal. I can't imagine they're equal. Based on the performances we've seen so far, they're not equal. Saturn's got to be weaker. At least weaker than Mars or Venus Juro. Or all of them. Mercury has like tank shell skin. Like he would have been able to take that punch from Kuma like it was nobody's business, but Saturn couldn't. We still think Saturn dies at Egghead? Looks like everyone fell off that train once the rest of the Gorosei showed up, but not gonna lie, I'm still there. I don't think so. I kind of agree with that sentiment that, like, now that all the Gorosei are here, I can't see Saturn dying. They would get him out of there, you know? What I can see happening is Saturn not dying on Egghead, but instead, like we were just talking about earlier, if we get back to Marijwa and Imu is mad and like really, really pissed off at the Gorosei, I could see Imu killing Saturn, because Saturn truly was the reason most of this failed. Okay? Saturn pretty much caused all of this to go down to a degree, because realistically, Saturn shouldn't have had to summon the other Gorosei to this island. He spent too much time fudding around, just, you know, shit-talking Kuma, shit-talking Bonnie, acting evil, but he didn't actually, like, stop what was going on. He didn't manage to stop anything. He got beat up enough to where he had to summon the other Gorosei, so I could see Imu, you know, targeting Saturn and being like, you're dead. I'm punishing you for all of this. Like, you're the problem. And then pointing to the other Gorosei and saying, if you don't fix this, that's going to happen to you too. You know, like a Muzan. Yeah, there you go, Chaozu. Like a Muzan situation. Muzan. Goodlift, thank you for the, I believe those are Kroner. Thank you for the 50 Kroner. Perhaps you can rack up sins to Imu, and then that's how the Gorosei get the scars. Ooh, interesting. When Gear 5 was revealed, it seems like Jupiter was a newbie, so a replacement. So you think it's possible that Jupiter actually is relatively new to the Gorosei, and the prior one was like killed by Imu for making a mistake? That'd be interesting. I'd actually be cool with that. I would like if some of the Gorosei were around during the Void Century, but not all of them. And then one of them was like killed off at some point for being disobedient or failing Imu, and then Jupiter was the replacement. I'd be down. I'd be down. I wish Luffy asked the Gorosei to join his crew. What are we saying in chat? What is going on? No. He's trolling. You've got to be trolling, Cheesy. I know. It's all good though. I respect it. I respect the grind. I respect the grind. To me, CP0 replaces God Knights when they fall, and God Knights replace Gorosei if one falls. That's kind of a cool idea. So if there's a vacancy in the God Knights, CP0 comes in to replace it. Do you think there's examples of more people becoming, like, being turned into Celestial Dragons that, like, aren't part of the bloodlines, but they're... You know how York is trying to become a Celestial Dragon? Does the world government award Celestial status to certain people for accomplishing enough that, you know, to help the government? I don't know. We haven't had that precedent set. As far as we know so far, all the Goros, or all the Celestial Dragons are inbred nobility, part of the original 20 families, and that's it. Like, very closed bloodline. So are they accepting? Do they accept new members? I don't know. I don't know. If they do it with York, who's to say they wouldn't do it with the CP agent? Nico Robin is already a Gorosei? York is there, a huge foreshadowing of Ibu. I don't know if I'm following, Johan. Someone said you were cooking. I don't know what you're cooking with. This ain't cooking. Nico Robin is already a Gorosei? What are we talking about here? If you're strong enough and loyal enough, they grant you Celestial Dragon status. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I could see if it, look, if they do it for York, then that'll change my mind. Until I see it done for another character, then I feel like it's a very closed group. And then they would recruit more God Knights from the Celestial Dragons that already exist, you know? Chaozu goes, he was cooking with the Astro Boy thing, but he'd been in the kitchen too long. So sometimes you burn the food. Sometimes that's how it goes. That's okay. Sometimes you're Bobby Flay. Sometimes you're I don't know, who's a bad cook. I can't think of it. Can't think of anything. Sorry. Sometimes you're Sanji, sometimes you're Wanzi. If you guys don't remember Wanzi, that was the ramen chef in the Cypher Pole ship that shot ramen out of his nose. That was his name, right? Wanzi? Yeah, sometimes you're Sanji, sometimes you're Wanzi. Crocus gave Toki the illness so she couldn't go to Laugh Tale. He's Saturn. Crocus gave Roger the illness at God Valley. He's Saturn. What the fuck are we doing? All right, that's it. I've had enough. I've had enough. This has to stop now. Whatever you guys are on, I don't know what it is. We got to stop this. We got to get to real theory territory. It's been Saturn was Crocus this whole time. Are you serious? Actually, this might be my favorite part of the chapter. I'm not going to lie. We got a nice big double page spread. This is beautiful. I wish I could draw like that. For those who don't know, I've been working on my art skills a little bit, on and off. If you've been following me on Twitter. I want to see if I can combine it with my writing in some way. Like if I get good at drawing, like when I write something and I want to illustrate like a picture to show what I'm talking about in the writing, I'd want to be able to draw that. So I'm kind of working on both. But my art skills are not that good yet. But just for the hype, I'll show off a little piece I drew recently. Don't laugh at me, though. Don't laugh, though, okay? Whatever you do, don't laugh. Don't post bald hiddens in the chat. Don't subscribe. Don't become a member. Don't do any of that after seeing this, okay? Hold on. Oh, wait. I didn't get the link. Hold on. I drew this. I drew this last week. I was pretty proud of it. I drew Boo, Super Boo, doing a punch, doing a fucking hook. I couldn't get the angle right on the hook. It was a little tough, but I tried. There we go. That's on my Twitter. So you guys want to go hype that? That shit only got 30 likes. My heart was crushed. It was destroyed. I was like, oh, this is so gas. I'm posting this. People are going to love this shit. Got like 30 likes. Damn. I was heartbroken. Am I drawing them in Photoshop? No, I drew them in I drew it in Krita. It's like an art app. So I did it in pencil in the app, and then I did the line work over it, and then I tried to color and shade it after that. I tried my best. I've never done coloring. I've just started trying to do coloring. It's tough. Oh, I like that idea, Nicholas. Holy Knights are born celestial dragons, so York is probably going to marry a Holy Knight to become a celestial dragon. That'd be pretty sick. You marry in. I could see that. I mean, the celestial dragons obviously don't make their wives celestial dragons, at least what we saw with Saturn, you know, Ginny. She was a slave, despite being his wife. But maybe the deal here is with York, it's like, oh, we'll let you be one of us if, you know, you got to marry one of the celestial dragons. I'm sure there's someone up there that's fiending for York. You know, she's kind of a baddie. So I could see that happening. That's the only way that I would kind of accept York being made into a CD, because otherwise it's just kind of weird and random for like a Vegapunk clone to get celestial dragon status for what? Like, I would just assume they would betray her and then kill York, just like everyone else, because York knows too much, right? Yo, having a good time said, if you got them separated into layers, the next step would be giving it a slight animation in Adobe After Effects. Your art looks great, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. I tried. I did my best. That person is me. You guys are crazy. Got celestial dragons in the chat. Shit. All right, guys. I don't got much else to say about this chapter. This was a fun one. I think I'm going to call the stream here. So for those, before we go, for those that didn't realize or didn't know, I'm sure a lot of you did. You've seen the notifications. But we are doing regular streams. I got a stream schedule now. I'm doing 2 gaming streams per week on, I believe it was Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays and Thursdays are, oh, thank you, Nick. Thank you. One Piece still. We got to do this. Don't leave just yet. Don't leave just yet. We got to do this every stream now. So we got streams. We got gaming streams on Mondays and Thursdays. On Wednesdays, we got collabs on a weekly basis. And on Fridays, we got... I might do the chapter reactions on Fridays instead of Saturdays from now on. And then we got One Piece discussion streams on the alternative day. So I'm probably going to come back tomorrow with the discussion stream. We're just going to sit and talk about One Piece. Not the new chapter, just general One Piece we're going to discuss. So we got regular streams coming. So because of that, I'm going to keep the chapter reactions a little bit more compact, because we won't have to do as much catching up every chapter reaction, because we have plenty of streams to talk. So, you know, and I also have seen people voice in the comments, they wanted my VODs for the chapter reactions to be shorter because they don't want to sit through a 3-hour VOD of like a chapter reaction. So I'm trying to keep these relatively short. But one thing, so like an hour and a half, basically. All right, so what we got One Piece still. For those that don't know, this is going to become a tradition on the stream. We're going to be doing this every day that we possibly can on stream. We're going to bookend every stream with One Piece still. For those that don't know, Wordle, if you've ever done Wordle, I'm sure a lot of you have, you get to guess a word. In Wordle, you got to guess a word, and then they'll give you hints based on what word you guessed, how close you are to the correct word, whatever. And for One Piece, you'll see how it works, but we got to guess that. For Classic, we got to guess the character. So they're going to give us hints, and we got to guess what it is in One Piece, and they update it every day. Every day it's a new one. So today we're going to guess our One Piece character for today. So let's just put in, for example, Monkey D. Luffy. All right, so these indicators are telling us, these are giving us hints to tell us, you know, how close we are. So the one detail we got correct is the correct character is a Paramecia user. They are not male. They are not part of the Straw Hat Pirates. And if you guys want a link to this, this is onepiecedal.net. I'll drop it in the chat. So if you guys want to do it along with me, just don't give me the answer. Don't give me the answer. I'm trying to figure these out. So, go there. We'll be doing this every stream. So the character's not male. They're not a Straw Hat Pirate. They are a Paramecia user. They don't have hockey. So these are the 3 types of hockey: observation, armament, and conquerors. But this says it's incorrect. So partially correct would mean that at least one of these is correct, right? At least one of these hockey pieces, hockey things is correct, but none of them are. So whoever this character is, they have a Paramecia but no hockey. They're a woman. They have a lower bounty than 3 billion. They're taller than 1 meter and 74 centimeters. Origins not in the East Blue, and their debut arc is after East Blue. So who else can we think of? Well, Robin has hockey, right? Oh, not a Straw Hat Pirate. Duh. Whatever. We get some info here. Okay, even lower than 930 million. Taller than Robin. This must be a Grand Line person or North Blue or South Blue. Later than the Alabasta arc is their debut. Later than Alabasta. Is it Khalifa? Because she wouldn't have a bounty at all. She has hockey, though. Right. Okay. Fuck. Later than Water 7. What are you guys thinking? I see Brulee. You think Brulee is a good one? You want to try that? They got Brulee on here. They don't have every character, but Brulee is on here. Oh, Brulee, you got it. Okay. I think I'm not going to look at the chat. You guys keep getting it before me. I'm not going to look at the chat for the rest of these. All right. That was good. Good. Shit. I was not expecting Brulee. All right, let's do Devil Fruit now. These are easy. The Devil Fruit's easy. Actually, this one's not so easy. The Ishi Ishi no Mi. Which one's the Ishi Ishi no Mi? Which character ate the Ishi Ishi no Mi? I don't remember the Ishi Ishi no Mi. I'm going to be honest. I don't remember which one this is. What's the Baroque Works agent with the... It's double finger. What's her name? Fucking why am I blanking? She's not on here though. Hold on. What's her actual name? Zala. They got Zala? No, they don't got Zala. Is it the fucking... Zoom in a bit, it's very small. I could zoom in. There we go. It's not, Inazuma? No. It's not Inazuma. Shit. I feel like this is a Baroque Works one. This is like one of the fruits that we haven't heard of in a long time. Hint, they make everyone laugh. They make everyone laugh. So is it like a smile? No. I don't know. I don't know. They fight Zoro. Oh. Pika. Pika. Okay. That's what you meant by makes everyone laugh. That's pretty funny. Oh, who could this be? Who could this be? Alright, that's Kuma. Alright, the last one. This one's going to be tough. All the laughs are usually pretty tough. The Ishi no Mi, that was a curveball, man. I completely forgot about that one. I just, like, the name did not strike me. Alright. That's Zoro, isn't it? Is that Zoro? Yeah, that is Zoro. All right, yeah. You know, it was weird because like I definitely like heard Zoro in it immediately, but I was like, when is that the Zoro laugh back from when in Shell's Town when like he was laughing at Luffy for like saying that he had no crew and it was just them two? That's a weird ass laugh, Zoro. I'm gonna be real. All right, guys, that's it. We're done. We're done. That's all of One Piece still. That's all of that for today. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. We're going to be doing that in the streams more often. So we'll bookend the streams with those. I'll be keeping the chapter reactions a little shorter, and then we're going to be doing more different streams throughout the week. So with that all being said, that's it for today. Thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed the chapter reaction. 11-12, fun chapter. Enjoyed it a lot. And I'm very, very much looking forward to next week because I need the Iron Giant. I need to see what happens to this snail. What's in the room with Mars right now? A lot of questions I have, and we're definitely getting answers. Some answers next week, I hope. So, thanks again, guys. I'll see you next time. I'll see you tomorrow if you're going to be in tomorrow's stream, and I hope all of you have a good rest of your day. Take care. Have a great day, a good night, and a wonderful romance dawn. Peace out, my friends.